Well, it wasn't supposed to be this way, but here we are, some mid-afternoon USL Championship soccer in Week 12 as the Charleston Battery play host to the Pittsburgh Riverhounds from Patriots Point here in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. With Thomas Rongen, I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks for being with us. The 21st all-time meeting in the regular season between these two historic franchises, and looking at the Atlantic Division standings, a big win for Pittsburgh over the weekend has moved them up into second spot, while Charleston sits in sixth spot. They still have some games to make up and some ground to make up in those standings, but a big opportunity today against their rivals from the north. And looking at this Charleston Battery attack, they're without some key pieces, but they do have Nikute Daly leading the line today.
Yeah, and Nikute Daly is huge for this team right now, with wide areas to be exploited for Mike Einhorst's team. He's got 2 goals on the year and needs to be the go-to guy for this team at home to get a result against this very tough Pittsburgh Riverhounds team.
And those 2 goals for Nikute Daly against Loudoun a couple of games back. And he'll be looking to do the same here today against this stingy back line, of course, for Bob Lilly and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. But on the other side for Pittsburgh, we talk about this attack. It's led by Cicerone with 5 goals, but they have 8 overall goal scorers.
Yeah, and that's just for Bob Lilly. A great luxury to have Dixon, 3 assist goals, obviously. Griffin with 2 on the year as well. So this is a team that indeed can score different ways with different players. Out wide with crosses, central combination play with Cicerone that you talked about, Josh, as well. They're going to be a hard team to beat on the day, and especially on the road, with Lilly adopting this very aggressive style of play early on. They could be a danger.
Well, these two historic rivals have faced off 20 times previous in the regular season. Today is a great day for number 21. We're moving kick up a little bit, but ready to go from Charleston. Riverhounds Battery coming up next.
And as funny as it may seem,
Like fun, hear what you're
some
saying.
people get their kicks stomping on your dreams. Wait, yo, and if I didn't think it was worth one try, I'd jump right on a big bird, and then I'd fly.
This is your vacation, your beach, your fields of green, skies of blue, mountains of majesty. You're an athlete, you're obsessed, you're in love, you're in pain, spirit drained, in agony, fighting gravity, because you made a commitment to yourself and others to work on your game, build your frame in blazing heat, exhausted and beat, because when you refuse to yield, your spirit is revealed. You are an athlete. MUSC Health Sports Medicine.
My bad.
Don't be left in the Stone Age.
I'll get you some matches.
Get access to exclusive experiences at BudLightLegends.com. Prepare to be swept off your feet. Enjoy VIP perks and more at BudLightLegends.com.
Building up to first kick from Patriots Point here in Charleston. The Battery and the Riverhounds getting set to go at it this afternoon. Let's take a look at today's starting lineups. They are presented by Bud Light. We start with the home side, the Charleston Battery and Mike Anhauser.
Yeah, and Daly is the go-to guy up front, obviously, with Lewis not being there. Hogan, De Rosa in the back have to be tight. Don't concede early. Use home field advantage.
So 4 changes for Charleston. On the other side for Bob Lilly, 3 changes.
Yeah, 3 changes for Bob Lilly. Robinson, so tough. That spine with Forbes. Dixon, And obviously Cicerone with 5 goals is huge for Bob Lilly to get a result on the road.
And you talk about overloads in the midfield. We'll see that today from Bob Lilly in that 6-man midfield that we're expecting to see. Mike Anhauser said you never really know what to expect when you go up against the Bob Lilly team, but his teams are always prepared, always ready to go.
Yeah, they certainly are. It's the first time actually they're playing at Patriots Point. I've got some great memories, by the way, of Black Bart Stadium, the old stadium, where I qualified when I was the head coach of the under-20 U.S. team to get to the World Cup with the Clint Dempseys and the Eddie Johnson and Michael Bradleys of the world. So, great place to be.
It's a good soccer town, and of course, we are ready to go. It's Charleston in yellow. It is Pittsburgh in all white, and here we go from Patriots Point. Already a slip at the back, and a chance here to get into the attack for the Charleston Battery. Pittsburgh win it back quickly, but this kick moved up because of the impending storm, tropical storm Elsa, potentially landing here in Charleston later on this evening, so they move kick up just a couple of hours. Just talking with people in and around the organization. They want to make sure they get this game in, no problems with the amount of delays and postponements they've had previously. It's about the safety of the fans, the players, everybody involved to get this game in here, and hopefully they can get through the storm with everybody being safe as well later this evening.
Bob Lilly's team just starting where they left up in the last game. They were so aggressive early on, scored early in that 1-0 win, and then hang on tight in the end. And you talked to Lilly yesterday, and he talked about being aggressive, staying with it, and being a hard team to play against. And I think that's what we're going to see. We always see from Bob Lilly's team, well prepared. This time out of a slanted 3-6-1 almost. I think that Dixon will be a little bit closer to Dikwa up front.
This ball's played into the corner, but knocked out of play. Let's take a look at the injury report presented by MUSC Health Sports Medicine. A long list for Charleston. They have really battled the injuries today. Gadula will actually be on the bench today, but Borso and Dover out for Pittsburgh this afternoon.
Yeah, that's some experience there from Scheik and those guys defensively. So Mike is playing out of a conservative 3-5-2, almost a 5-3-2 as you can see right now. Important that Hogan centrally is going to be the organizer. Crawford, the number 6, sitting in front of that back 3, making sure that they're strong again in the axis.
Cicerone, who's been the go-to goal scorer this year. We talked about him in the open. 5 goals, leads the team, but 8 overall goal scorers. Now it's Wharton. Forbes is trying to nod this along. Q Daly now will hold play up and keep it here for the Battery as they look forward. You look around this Charleston Battery roster, so many players with ties to this area, whether it be they grew up here, they played their college soccer around this part of the country, but that's something Mike Anhauser has talked about in recent weeks of they have good scouting, they've seen these players, so you might as well give them a chance and see what they can do, and they're still trying to build this season. They're 3-3-2 coming on. They have some games to make up as this season goes on, talking about those postponements.
Yeah, huge game for both teams, but more so for Mike Anhauser and his team.
This ball's played over the top as Pittsburgh now looks back into the attack.
Yeah, Dikwa always looks to get behind that back 3 or 4. You know, there's some directness to Bob Lilly. If he can go, if not, they build so they can stretch a team really and then play underneath with Cicerone and Dixon and Griffin. That's where they're really good.
We talk about those local players here for Charleston, but for Pittsburgh, it's Bob Lilly has his guys, whether they have played for him previously with Rochester or at his other stops. He knows what he likes out of his players. Cicerone will play this in. Forbes trying to turn the corner. This one ushered out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, and Forbes makes those great runs out of deep midfield. He'll be connected more with the front two. He won't sit. Rovira will be more of the holder. And that threesome of Forbes, Dixon, and Cicerone can kill you with passes, but also with their ability to put the ball in the back of the net.
So far early on, a lot of attack coming for Pittsburgh. Whistle blows. This will be a free kick going Charleston's way. Today's referee is Greg Dopka.
Yeah, and going back to Bob Lilly, I did the same thing. I coached 4 teams in MLS, and actually I took 2 or 3 players to 3 teams. I knew them, they knew me as well. They became an extension on the field, Josh. So important to implement your tactics, but also the personality, ID of the team, the DNA, so to speak. And Lilly is known for attention to detail. And when you have some players that buy into what your philosophy, playing style is all about, and it works, why not trade for them or bring them along with you?
It was worked out here for Pittsburgh. 3 straight playoff appearances. First time in club history they made the playoffs in 3 straight years.
If you talk about, I mean, this is the oldest rivalry, by the way, in the USL Championship. These two teams are one of the oldest ones, and 2 of the most respected coaches as well, that know how to build teams and get the best out of their players. They're always competitive. They're tactically astute, and then in every line you have difference makers, and that's so important. Be it Hogan for Mike in the back, Crawford, be it Daly up front, be it Robinson on the other side defensively, Forbes, and then Cicerone and Dikwa. So
now it's Forbes. Looking to switch the play. Wharton. Maybe a chance now for Charleston to counter Perez. Little hesitation and gets this centrally. Charleston will be able to keep possession, and that's something Mike Anhauser did talk about. Wanting to gain some more time on the ball, having more control over the game. He says it's a slow progression in how we've gone about it, but he does want to see that as the games move along.
That's huge. And talking right now, it's more of a 3-5-2. Dixon is really playing a little bit higher up the pitch than number 7 on that left-hand side. Forbes steps up as well. At times it is 6 in midfield, which is not easy to play against because there's numbers up. And against a good team in terms of possession, moving the ball, it's important for Mike, as you said, Josh, to maintain some possession and take the opponent out of the game, which they're attempting to right now. And Perez and Kelly on the outside, important for them to create opportunities from wide areas, which they haven't been very good at.
Misplaced pass, now a fight for a 50-50 ball. And Charleston will come away with it here.
Yeah, Charleston really happy with possessing the ball for the sake of possessing it. You've got to play through lines and sometimes be a little bit direct and then look for second balls.
There's a misplaced pass as it's put out of play. Danny Griffin started in every game, makes another start here today for Bob Lilly in Pittsburgh.
And those guys are huge, Josh. You know that those wide players going up and down, they're doing doggies, you know, in this system, end line to end line as well.
Now a chance for the Battery to look into the attack. Good ball played into space. Perez! It's blocked down, and then Perez scores! A fortunate deflection. The Battery will take it. Jabal Perez's first goal for Charleston. It's 1-0.
Absolutely well-executed counter. 2 passes, find depth, and it is Perez that gets on the end of this one in a 50-50, being able to push it past Vitioli, and then scores it with just a simple tap-in. Stays with the play, brilliant execution, great counter.
Charleston Battery goal for number 12, Jamal Perez.
Jamal Perez puts the home team
That
up
dazzling
early
play
in
is
this
brought to you
game.
by Diamonds Direct. Visit their showroom located at Mount Pleasant Town Center today. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
So Jabal Perez able to score the opening goal. That dazzling play is brought to you by Diamonds Direct. So Charleston able to score the opening goal, quick on the counterattack. And now how does Pittsburgh respond? And when they have conceded first this year, they have not gotten any sort of result, 0-4. So now how do they react on the road? Trying to come back against this Charleston Battery side, hungry for a result today.
Well executed play as well. Daly drops into midfield, sucks out the center back, and then springs Perez into the space that he vacated. So great counter, good recognition by Daly, dropping into midfield, being able to spring Perez. And then it becomes a foot race between defender and goalkeeper, and Perez gets the better of both.
Did you expect to see the goalkeeper come off his line a bit quicker?
That's a tough one. We always talk about starting position of goalkeeper. In my opinion, at that situation, you need to be around the 12th already. I think in this particular case, Vitiolo was too deep, started too late, and then get caught, as you know, Josh, in no man's land, which he did, and Perez gets the better of him. Either you stay or you got to come earlier. And if you come early, you better get a piece of something, which didn't happen.
It's played into the corner and it'll trickle out for a goal kick. And to be fair, it was a fortunate deflection. It was kind of bouncing around there at the back, and Perez able to come away with it and slot it home.
As a woman-owned and operated commercial low-voltage contractor based in Mount Pleasant.
105 games under Bob Lilly. Pittsburgh has allowed just 90 goals coming in. That's under a goal per game. That just shows you the great defensive record that Pittsburgh has been able to put together. It's not always been easy here in Charleston for Pittsburgh. 3-7-7 all time playing against the Battery here in Charleston.
It's always a tough place to go. I mean, I've played there in the Open Cup when I coached MLS teams, where you sometimes encounter teams in you know, supposedly lower divisions, and they're always hard games. And in particular against coaches that know their trade.
Looked like a grab of the jersey by Repetto. And a free kick will be given Pittsburgh's way here. Remember, this game being played behind closed doors due to the impending tropical storm Elsa. Kickoff moved up about 3 hours as well. All precautions and safety measures taken by the club as Forbes stands over this free kick. He's been dishing out assists for quite some time, Kenardo Forbes. Let's see what he can conjure up here. Forbes will drive this in. Couple of players goes down. Kuzminski comes up with the ball.
You got some big bodies on both sides trying to get to that first ball, obviously. There's always a tussle. And actually we saw today in the Euros that there was a free kick given that leads to a goal for Denmark on a hold, on a set piece, a ball being floated into the 18-yard area. So at times you see that being called, but 9 out of 10 times, Josh, there's always
something.
Absolutely. I was a defender myself, and I tried to gain any advantage I could, which included holding jerseys, as long as I try to stay away from the eyesight of the referee.
Got to be discreet about it, right? Touch for Danny Vitiello at the back. Just 4 goals allowed in 8 games a season ago, 5 clean sheets. He's good enough for 2020 USL Championship Golden Glove.
And Charleston's, their lines are a little bit higher right now. Mike Anhauser weathered the storm for the first 5 or 6 minutes when Pittsburgh really started aggressively, and now they say, you know what, our first line of confrontation, let's go a little bit higher, guys. and then pick up balls like this and force them more in directness. Key is, can they build now, maintain possession, and get another sequence by somebody dropping in the midfield and then springing one of your wide players, either Kelly or Perez, as they did on the first goal.
With a team like Pittsburgh putting so many players in the middle, is the counterattack, you think, the best opportunity, as we've already seen?
Yes, I mean, there's various ways to skin a cat, obviously. If you're Spain, you kill them with 1,000 passes. If you're Italy, you go direct, yes.
Good tackle there in the midfield to win it back for Pittsburgh. It's picked up by Forbes, who will clip this in. Dequa off the chest, the shot blocked out of play. Corner kick coming for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Hogan stayed well with that play. Dequa is really the highest guy off the pitch. Nice little diagonal run. Good ball in off the chest as well. But very good defending at the end of the day by Hogan. The art of defending in 1v1s. Preventing a shot at target.
Forbes waiting to send this in. Goes back post, rising header, saved off the line. Nearly the equalizer for Pittsburgh. And it looked like it was the goal scorer coming up with a big defensive play.
Yeah, he certainly did. Great ball floated far post by Forbes. And then the strength and power of being able to elevate, get above your defender and get it on target. As I said again, there's some big boys on both sides of the ball. This time, Pittsburgh getting the better of the battery.
It'll be Forbes again. Let's see if they throw any other wrinkles in here. Back post again. This time it's dealt with. The whistle blows for a foul. Free kick, Charleston.
Yeah, with Dequa and with Griffin, you got some really athletic players that are great on set pieces. And Forbes twice now is trying to go far post. McHugh, Hogan, De Rosa, holding strong though. And as you said, Perez huge on the line, preventing that tying goal for Pittsburgh. And a lot of times, players forget their responsibilities. Perez's responsibility is initially when the ball gets floated in, Josh, take care of the first post. If it goes beyond, make yourself big, stay on the line, and help me, which the goalkeeper is saying. If it's cleared, then you get your lines up as well. So very good disciplined individual defending there by Perez.
Robinson off to chase this down. Vera's pass off the mark. Q trying to play through the lines. Goes to that far side. Early ball coming across, looking for Repetto. Instead, it'll fall for the goal scorer, Perez. Failing.
Said a great thing, Josh, playing through lines. Because of that congested midfield of 6, if you can bypass that 5 or 6 guys, you're in.
Perez slips this through. Repetto will keep this in play, trying to flick it back for De Rosa, didn't come off. Here's Perez again. He'll have a go, and he'll sky this out of play.
Good sequence. All started with McHugh, which is one of your 3 center backs, basically, playing through lines, as you said, Josh, and then being able to get a goal and put Pittsburgh under some duress, and then the ability of winning second balls as well, because you got good numbers and you're compact on both sides, with the ball and without the ball. So the pressure is right there. Good execution by Mike Arnhauser's team.
Play out of tight spaces. Failing will look back to Kuzminski in goal.
Yeah, so you heard Mike saying actually, you know, Repetto, provide us a better angle, because that's what Phelan is looking at right now, playing through lines to the big man. You know, Phelan is a huge body, so he's going to be the target guy, and Daly can play off him.
Rovira ahead for Dikwa, who now plays this out wide. Cicerone fizzles in a ball. It's over everybody's head and out for a throw-in.
Those are the tough balls. When you go out wide, hard runs are being made. You almost feel like compelled to drive that ball across for some contact. Just didn't connect.
Come on, go ahead. Come on, Angelo.
Good patience by Kelly. Knowing nothing is on, and we'll start again. We'll switch the point of attack and keep the ball moving. Patience, but still with a high speed of play, ball circulation, I call that.
Yeah. Hey! We gotta work together! Need you come here. There you go. Audio. Hey, make another angle.
Good spell of possession here for Charleston. What can they do with it? They give it away, looking for Repetto.
It's actually great that you can hear the coaches, you know, with Danny Griffin. Look for the next play. Simple instructions for both coaches that make a lot of sense. And one of the few or only luxuries, if you don't have a lot of fans in the stadium, you can hear.
Gone through a lot of that in the past year.
Yeah, it's very pure. For me, I love that kind of, to be real honest with you, to hear coaches. I was a former coach myself, and also how players coach themselves and steer themselves during the game. So important. Starting with your goalkeeper and center backs. Turn, men on, step, move, switch point of attack. Simple, good instructions that can help a team, a player.
Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Looks like another corner kick coming for Pittsburgh.
We talk about set pieces making differences in a lot of games. Almost close to 30%, Josh, are from set pieces. That includes free kicks, corners, and also penalties through 90 minutes. So again, you know, this is where you can make a difference. And with good service, which we know Forbes can do, and the power and strength of some big boys.
Forbes goes to that back post again. Header back into the middle. The whistle comes. Free kick to Charleston.
Yeah, he tries to find his favorite target, which is Williams, who's going back post each and every time.
Hey, ref, he's in the box, come on.
Charleston Battery has an entire new line of merchandise for their new era here at Patriots Point. Go to shop.charlestonbattery.com for the latest jerseys, t-shirts, hats, and more. Perez. Bright start to this match for him on both ends of the field.
You want me forcing the cut on those, right? Okay, I figured. I just wanted to make sure.
This has been a good run of form for Pittsburgh. They've won 4 of their last 5. The only loss coming against Loudoun. The fixture congestion has definitely been there for the Riverhounds having to rotate players in and out. Only 3 changes to the lineup today. Of course, some players out of the lineup as well for both teams due to international competitions. Jelani Peters has made a couple of appearances for Trinidad and Tobago. They are in the Gold Cup now. Zico Lewis on the other side for Charleston, missing out on the Gold Cup after dropping their match last night. This play continues now. Niku Daly. Repetto will get on the end of this and look infield. Repetto goes for goal. Vitiello pushes this away. Corner kick, Charleston.
Again, Charleston just when they go in transition, they're so good, Josh. Tough angle for Repetto, but he does have his head up, and there's not a lot of support. So you know what? Go for it, big man. We saw yesterday the Copa America, a similar angle that Colombia scored against Argentina.
Sure,
so it's doable this time. Vitiello stayed up big and forced, obviously, Repetto to get him around that big body of his. Didn't happen.
First corner of the game for Charleston. This whipped in, cleared away at the near post. Pittsburgh was still arguing for a foul that happened back the other way that was not whistled. An appeal for handball. Referee says play on. Nervy moment there for Pittsburgh. Let's just go back and clear something up from that last sequence. Looked like a handball, but I think Griffin got his hand out of the way just in time here.
Yeah, we'll find out. Great second phase attack, we call that. And yes, just got his arms away, collected it with his chest, and then cleared the ball as well. So well done from our production guys and ladies, allowing us to see that. Because there was a little bit of a 3 or 4 hands went up, you know,
yeah.
Which is natural. I would do the same if it wasn't. To me, I always told my players, Josh, that the referee is a tactical kind of thing as well. How can we get the referee on our side? Be nice at times, be firm at times, because they're human as well.
This will be a free kick in the way of Charleston. They'll take it short and quick. Ball played over the top. Vitiello coming way off his line, but able to stutter his feet and make the catch.
But the great example, Josh, of this time he was really in a much better starting position than when he gave up the goal as well. Anticipated, was further off his line, which always you play with a little bit of risk. There's some cheeky guys out there that can chip you from 50 yards, but if you see players with their heads down, knowing they're going to go long for a target, then you can gamble. You can play it on your 12. You can play it on your 18-yard box. You can collect balls outside the 18 because both keepers are very good with their feet.
Here's Griffin in the middle. Cicerone deflects off Crawford. And he does well. This will be a throw-in, though, for Charleston, deep in the corner.
Yeah, he to me, is one of the better players in any league, for that matter. He's got 5 goals on the year, but he's really a playmaker as well. He gets other people involved. So I love to see him, such a great all-around player that can hurt you in so many different ways.
We've reached our first half hydration break, and this hydro break is brought to you by Recover 180.
Oh, I love Recover 180.
Do you really?
Oh, I'm all over it, yeah.
Due to the high temperatures at today's match, the referee has indicated a safety and
chance for
hydration
both
break
managers to
lasting up
talk
3
things
minutes.
over.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what these breaks really have become. They're
Remember,
important. Don't
you can
get me
restore
wrong
your
for
health
the
and do
players
more of
in
what you love
particular.
with Restore Hyper Wellness and
The amount of games
cryotherapy.
these guys play
Check out their West
on a
National
yearly
location
basis
for
throughout the
cryotherapy,
world. But
compression,
you're right, you can see
infrared
both
sauna,
coaches very
IV drips,
engaged,
and
assistant coaches giving individual instructions, head coaches bringing the team together. It's a great way to get some tactical information across to your team, which normally is only the halftime.
Right, you don't get a timeout in soccer.
No, you don't. And you got two of the best in the league in terms of astute guys that can make little adjustments right now that could change the course of the next 15 minutes.
And there is the goal scorer, Jabel Perez. His first goal for the club comes at a great time.
See, Bob Lilly's talking about that goal, actually. You know, we can't be flat there. There's got to be pressure and cover and balance. You know, that's the principles of defending in a 3 or a 4. Doesn't really matter, Josh. Those principles are always there. All 3 stepped, and all of a sudden, boom, you get hurt with the ball over the top.
Always a great setting here at Patriots Point. Bridge in the background. Unfortunately today, not able to have the fans in the stands. I hope everybody's staying safe ahead of the impending storm.
I think we realized in the last year and a half that there's more important things in life at times, you know, than the game itself that we all love. Don't get me wrong.
That was a loud sneeze.
But smart to move this game till 4, to get it in, especially because the Battery is 4 games behind Pittsburgh, for instance, in the standings. Bob Lilly's looking at a 10-day break. He wants to enter the break on a positive. And Mike Einhauser really wants to get his season starting, let's be real honest, and see if this team can gel at this game, leading them into a lot of games in a short amount of time.
Yeah, he said it was difficult, Mike Einhauser, getting those games postponed because then it ruins your fitness, your rhythm, everything goes into it. He said a lot of 11v11, 8v8 during training.
Yep,
he's trying to keep the fitness up.
Yep. I don't care how much you train. There's just no replication for the real game fitness.
Of course.
There's just none.
DeRosa will get the ball back rolling. And still hear the directions being shouted out.
Yeah. Yeah, Charleston has really grown into this game. They've been able to press, forcing some mistakes in areas where they can counter, and using now the big body of Repetto to draw fouls and get more numbers in advanced positions.
Failing will switch the play for Kelly. The wind may be causing a little bit of issues in this first half hour. Flags sure are flapping. Rivera. Griffin in the middle. Kilwine down that left touch line. That ball did go out of play. Forbes didn't get a touch on it quick enough. The USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community through the Forever Proud project. The USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/forever-proud.
You can grow your business today with Renfro Outdoor Advertising. Locally owned and operated, Renfro's expert team is ready to put an expansive billboard network and online advertising solutions to work.
Just 2 shots so far for Pittsburgh. 4 have gone the way of Charleston. 3 of those have been on target. Here's Griffin. Rovira joins the attack. Left-footed cross, standing this up back post. Kuzminski is there.
Well done. You look at McHugh, Hogan, DeRosa, the wide players, Kelly and Perez and Crawford. You have that block of 6 that make it really hard and say, you know what, if you beat us, go out wide. They get a lot of numbers centrally, and that's where the strength is of Pittsburgh as well. So good game plan through 35 minutes by Mike Enhauser.
Kind of a bit confused about that last call. And Repetto, another one of those local players, played his college soccer at Coastal Carolina in his pro debut against Loudoun back on June 26th. Grew up in Genoa, Italy. Murphy will bring this back for a quick foul as Griffin gets it back in play. Dixon, one of the quickest players in the USL Championship. It's taken off the ball. It's out for a goal kick. If you're on the road or can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, Rodney Marsh, and the brand new USL All Access, featuring Mike Watts and Devin Kerr, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Fans of the USL can now listen to the best matches of the week, along with action from MLS, the Premier League, and the UEFA Champions League. Sirius XM FC, channel 157 on your Sirius XM radio and the Sirius XM app. Daly might have been pulled back a little bit. Daly trying to chip Vitiello, came off his line. You could see a little jersey pull, and that's what he's motioning for.
Yeah, and the referee's going to say, well, I'm giving you advantage, which in this case, I agree with the referee as well. Although you can say if there wasn't a pull, he would have been clearly gone. This time, Vitiello actually is off his line and does the right thing by sliding outside of his box and forcing Daly in a tough finish. This is a... I might have actually called that one back, quite frankly, give it a free kick, 30 yards away from goal. I don't think that shirt pull really helped or gave an advantage to Daly in that breakaway.
Failing fouls Forbes. He puts it back in play quick. Kilwine. Now Griffin. Dixon kept himself on side. Kilwine whips the ball in. Good shape on this, but Kuzminski there to grab it.
Yeah, Kuzminski twice now coming over his line strong, not spilling and giving up a rebound. Excellent work.
Such an experienced keeper, Joe Kuzminski. 5th season with the Battery, and loan spell in Israel. Maccabi Haifa.
And Dixon really coming to life now on that left side, which forces McHugh really to have to slide out there. That opens up things centrally for Dikwa and Cicerone.
Talk about Dixon, another one of those Bob Lilly players who spent a couple years under him at Rochester. Dixon has been a good goal scorer with Hartford the past 2 years, 11 goals over the last 2 seasons. Been more of a distributor this year, though, with 3 assists.
For Mike Enhauser right now, you're looking at almost 40 minutes. Can we see this game out in terms of the first half? Walk into the locker room up 1-0. Don't concede, but don't become conservative.
Dequa gets this out wide. Dixon. Good touch there in the middle. It just couldn't be finished up by Repetto. Dixon looks upfield again. Forbes. Canardo Forbes, it's blocked down. Another appeal for handball. This one waved away as well.
Yeah, the combination of Dixon and Forbes to the left-hand side, and Dequa involved as well. Good combination play, the give and go initially. And as I said again, it's stretching that back three. There's nothing worse for three central defenders getting stretched and ending up in 1v1 situations. So it's very important for Kelly and Perez, the wide players, to help out.
Now here comes Charleston. Shot is saved by Vitiello.
Nice sequence on the other end as well. Great first touch with the chest and really a quick strike by Repetto.
Repetto making his first pro start. Come off the bench in 2 previous appearances.
And he's given Mike something. It's a bigger body,
yeah.
A target that occupies always people. Then he's been very good with his feet, I think. Case in point, that last one, off the chest, first time strike and forcing Vitiello in a pretty tough save.
Final few minutes before we get to halftime. And Charleston still holding on to that 1-0 advantage. Jabel Perez's goal in the 9th minute. I believe it was Daly who played it through. He won't get the assist on it because it bounced around off a couple of players, but he started that whole sequence on the goal.
Little lower line of initial confrontation by the battery. Good numbers behind the ball.
Daly charging right through the middle. McHugh Daly might do this all himself. He gets the shot away. Couldn't put it on frame.
Yeah, and that's where he's so explosive. He showed that just a few minutes ago in the breakaway when he got tucked his jersey and just put it wide. That little change of direction would change the speed. Turning the corner right now around Forbes and getting a strike off. Kelly, though, is there for the pullback, but I don't mind. I played with some great number 9s in my career, and when they got inside the 18-yard box, they used to say to me, Thomas, I don't see anything else except the goal. Sorry, you made that run, but I'm going for target.
They want the glory, right?
Yeah.
Another look at the yellow card.
Yeah, talk about obstruction. And an obvious one, by the way. He didn't sell that one very well, De Rosa.
So De Rosa is his name taken. First yellow card issued today. Head of the head for Dixon. Off the crossbar. It was a weird angle because Minsky was scrambling. Looked like he was expecting a cross.
Great flick on, by the way, by Dequa. Dequa gets a little piece of the ball, flicks it into the area where, as you said, Dixon. No, it wasn't Dequa. Dixon goes with his left foot, hits the crossbar, came a little bit out of nowhere.
It's headed out for another corner kick.
And it's been very good, very dangerous on set pieces. Again, it's all about making sure you win that first battle. You get Williams, who's strong in the air, Dequa, that's strong in the air, Griffin as well. Those will be the targets for Forbes.
Forbes will send this in, this time near post. Gets the little flick. Daly couldn't get it by Danny Griffin. He was the last line of defense there.
Yeah, huge. Obviously, that's his responsibility.
Cicerone. Russell Cicerone slices this the wrong way.
Again, Pittsburgh is showing the variety of set pieces, Josh. This time going short, as you said. Dixon comes, brings two players with him as well. They pretend to go for a short corner. Instead, they go near for the flick on. Almost the execution there. We'll give Mike Anhauser some information to deal with it at halftime, where his assistant coach will look at those set pieces and make the adjustments in order for them not to be as dangerous.
This will be a foul. Pedo going down. We get into stoppage time. It'll be 2 minutes and is brought to you by MUSC Health Sports Medicine.
Yeah, Williams, I mean, taking no prisoners.
Very experienced player, Mikel Williams. Trinidad and Tobago international.
Yeah, and he's telling Repetto, hey, welcome to your first game in the USL Championship, my man.
Perez is well there in the middle, failing. Finding space on the right. And there's Kelly. Deflected cross. And a corner kick for Charleston midway through the minimum of 2 minutes.
Yeah, good execution. Short passes, switching the point of attack to the overlapping fullback, hoping to get a cross in. Very well defended to get it out for a corner. And now we see, I think, the first corner for Charleston, if I'm correct. And again, you can see that those battles, Repetto in particular, will be a target.
Failing. Looked like they picked out Hogan. He couldn't put his header on frame. Well done by Dixon just to let this roll out of play. And this should bring us to halftime. I assume it would be Mike Anhauser, the happier of the two managers going into this halftime break.
Yes, it's been fairly even. We've seen a goal clearance, you know, of a set piece. We've seen the crossbar, but you're absolutely right. 1-0 at the half of Mike. He'll take it.
And there is the goal scorer, Jabel Perez. His 9th minute goal, currently sending Charleston into the half with the 1-0 advantage. So a 15-minute break, still 45 more minutes to come. Pittsburgh's had a tough time when traveling down here to Charleston, South Carolina. And so far, so good for Mike Anhauser and the Charleston Battery. It's Charleston 1, Pittsburgh 0. Stay tuned for halftime. It's coming up next.
How has COVID-19 impacted you and your family?
We haven't seen each other.
We've had to stay in a lot.
A lot of frustration, a lot of fear.
If there's one thing you want people to know about the vaccine, what would it be?
The vaccine is really a bright light at the end of this dark tunnel.
We can start living normal again.
Help us to go back to church.
Porque sé que es algo que me va a proteger y yo necesito proteger a mi familia.
It can save your life.
Learn more at vaccinatesc.com.
I learned that people are just looking for somebody to listen to them. You can't just start cutting somebody's hair and you're gonna be quiet the whole time because you're not gonna be in business long.
The South Carolina Education Lottery has provided over $800 million to help students attend technical colleges across our state, investing in a new generation of entrepreneurs, just like James.
shareholders are very happy.
Halftime from Charleston, South Carolina, between Pittsburgh and the Charleston Battery. It's been a busy week in the USL Championship, so let's see what Devin Kerr has served up on this week's edition of The Dish.
Uno a uno, also known as 1v1, also known as foreshadowing for a score to come, not to be confused with a table for two, but it is The Dish, Week 11. That's Canardo Forbes, that's Albert Diqua, there goes Anthony Velarde, and there goes 3 points for the Charlotte Independents. We're going to give it to the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. 4-1-1 in their last 6. Charlotte, losers of 3 out of 4. But let's talk about San Diego Loyal and Sacramento Republic. Prime time, baby! Divine for San Diego Loyal. Watch the build-up. Jack Blake slides over, bend, and steps Miguel Ibarra into the final third. Miguel Ibarra is going to put this on a platter for Corey Herzog. His 2nd goal of the season, 1st assist for Miguel Ibarra. One has to think that there's going to be more from the former MLS great. But see, if you don't put goals into the back of the net, you can't get points. Mitchell Tainer will get points, though. That's his first of the season. Carlton Belmar's first of the season. See, the one, it all makes sense now. Sacramento Republic have not won a game since May 12th, but that point right there could turn their season around. Let's talk about Colorado Springs and Real Monarchs and a bad man by the name of Haji Berry. And he's going to score the opening goal. Just kidding. That's Deshane Beckford on the Strauss. That's a shot and a cross because you don't know what that is being thrown in. But this has Haji Berry. This is the 22nd minute. And guess who? Beckford once again. This time he's supplying it. Haji Berry, 11th goal of the season. We'll talk about that more in a second. Andrew Briggs, nobody told them that they were supposed to fade quietly into the night, and that's not what's going to happen. A little fight back in for James and Alave's boys. They get it to 2-1 just 6 minutes later. Love the ball in by Noah Powder. Great distribution by Douglas Martinez. But then there's those bad men again. Edwards, Sebastian Anderson, little flick. Back of the net, 3-1 Colorado Springs. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the scores around the league. Western Conference wonders. Colorado Springs back in the win after the loss to Orange County. How about everybody else? San Antonio. Everybody's going to look at that and think it's bad. It is bad. They're struggling. Death by 1,000 draws, also known as 7 injuries to the starting 11. You can count it. Colorado Springs, we talked about the recovery. El Paso Locomotive over New Mexico United. 3 losses in a row. LAFC 2, also known as Las Vegas Lights, also known as the Fighting Steve Chirundalos. Good victory over 1-0 Tacoma Defiance.
So the second half is on the way from Charleston between the Battery and Pittsburgh. Stay with us. Second half on the way.
Hey everyone, this is Oscar Jimenez from Louisville City FC.
Hi, my name is Carl Howarth. I currently play for the Indy 11.
What's up everybody? It's Connor Sparrow with the Miami SC.
Josué Soto checking in here. Austin Bold FC.
Hello guys, this is Luis Herrera from El Paso Locomotive. Just wanted to share with you guys my favorite soccer moment, and that will be the day I made my professional debut for El Paso, which is my hometown.
Anderson swings it in. Barry making the run, gets a deflection. He puts it in. Colorado Springs has its lead. And the save from Cardoni, it's there, and Cardoni with a huge save. Beautiful ball through, and that's in.
Brilliant.
This swung across. Lewis! Simply magnificent!
I'm not like some whoop-de-doo executive chef. You know, I consider myself more of a baker than a chef. I like working with my hands. I like turning regular ingredients into like something spectacular.
The South Carolina Education Lottery has funded over 450,000 life scholarships in our state, giving countless students a chance to answer their calling, just like Aaron.
How has COVID-19 impacted you and your family?
We haven't seen each other.
We've had to stay in a lot.
A lot of frustration, a lot of fear.
If there's one thing you want people to know about the vaccine, what would it be?
The vaccine is really a bright light at the end of this dark tunnel.
We can start living normal again.
Help us to go back to church.
Porque sé que es algo que me va a proteger y yo necesito proteger a mi familia.
It can save your life.
Learn more at vaccinatesc.com.
Halftime from Patriots Point, Pittsburgh and Charleston battling. Still 45 more minutes to come. But a look back at what has been going on around the USL Championship with news and notes from around the league. It'll be a big night in Charlotte tonight as they welcome in New York Red Bull 2. They'll open up their new American Legion Memorial Stadium. Of course, the USL Championship on ESPN coming back on July 17th, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Colorado Springs getting to show off Widener Field to San Antonio FC. And Dylan Mayers is the Clear Audio Player of the Week, and he headlines the Team of the Week across the USL Championship. A big day for Dylan Mayers. And El Paso Locomotive in the win over New Mexico United. A lot of good performances on this list. A couple of Phoenix Rising players along with Loose City players. Kyle Gregg has been clicking in these past couple of weeks. Rodrigo Lopez has been leading that upstart RGV FC Toro side as well. So plenty of good performances on last week's Team of the Week. But what is to come? The upcoming schedule, plenty of good fixtures tonight. 3 of them shown here. Charlotte Red Bull 2 will open up Charlotte's new stadium. Miami and Tampa Bay, a Floridian rivalry there. And then a Northern California derby as Sacramento Republic will welcome in Oakland Roots. And then we can look ahead to the weekend with some more intriguing fixtures, especially with Phoenix going all the way east to take on Charlotte Independence. So second half is on the way. Pittsburgh and Charleston is coming up next.
Hey, we should go on tour together.
My schedule's wide open.
Feel like a rock star. Get access to VIP perks and much more at BudLightLegends.com.
You can be legendary.
Prepare to be swept off your feet. Enjoy VIP perks and more at BudLightLegends.com.
Rosberg takes the championship 34 years after his father.
Child arrived just the other day. Came to the world in the
I'm driving.
Zero alcohol.
There was just a lack of Black women, business owners, entrepreneurs, creatives. Growing up, I didn't see that. I figured out that I wanted to be a photographer for women of color. I found my niche and I'm sticking to it.
Each year, the South Carolina Education Lottery raises millions of dollars for scholarships and grants that help students prepare for their dream career, just like Kristen.
This swung across. Lewis! Simply magnificent!
Back here for the start of the second half. Charleston 1, Pittsburgh 0. Plenty of chances through that first 45 minutes as the clouds starting to get a little bit darker here in Charleston. Let's take a look at those halftime highlights. The scoring got started pretty early on, 9th minute. This is just route 1 from the back.
And there's nothing wrong with route 1, quite frankly. If you have somebody like Daly that can spray a ball, and if you got somebody like Perez who gets there in the 50-50, beats the goalkeeper, Vitiolo, and then tucks it home. Great execution on the counter.
The first goal of the season for Jabal Perez. They got Charleston going early on, but Pittsburgh would have some opportunities in response. Just a few minutes later, Here they come back into the attack, all started by Kenardo Forbes.
Yeah, Forbes is so good, and he always finds one of his favorite targets, which is Dikwa off the chest, but even better, defending at the end by Hogan.
And then this half would keep going on, and more chances would come for the Charleston battery, and it was on the counterattack once again.
Yeah, as you said, once again on the counter, and the big boy in his first start as well. Repetto goes to goal, but the goalkeeper with the save.
So Vitiello making a big save there, and Repetto with a bright first half for Mike Anhauser and the battery. A look at the halftime stats. They are presented by Heineken. More of the chances going for Charleston, but all of that possession the way of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it feels like Spain. You know, you have to do something with that possession, Josh. And you know what? Charleston says, we'll give you possession, but we get 4 shots on target and a goal.
And they have the only stat that counts here at halftime. So a big 45 minutes upcoming for both of these teams. Charleston trying to get back on the winning track, while Pittsburgh has been on a good streak as of late. They've won 4 of their last 5. The last 5 games for Charleston have pretty much gone win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. So we'll see what they have here today. Thanks for spending some time with us on this Wednesday evening. It's kind of the appetizer to a full night of USL Championship action. Of course, Charlotte opening up their new stadium in just a little bit. Well, Sacramento will host Oakland to close the night 11 p.m. Eastern time. You can stay up late for that one in the Eastern time zone. But here in Charleston, Pittsburgh trying to come from behind, something they have not done all season long. They are 0-4-0 when conceding first. There is the goal scorer, Jabel Perez. With Thomas Rongen, I'm Josh Eastern. 45 more minutes to go. It's a big 45 minutes for Charleston as they continue to climb these Atlantic Division standings. Pittsburgh trying to put a stranglehold on second place, where they stand at the moment. And here we go, 45 more minutes to come from Patriots Point. Teams will switch ends. It's now Charleston attacking left to right. These bright yellow tops. DeRosa. Williams will knock this out. It'll be a throw-in for Charleston.
It'll be very interesting to see what the adjustments within the 11. There's no changes right now. Both coaches are making. Charleston go for the long throw.
Williams there to head it away. Chance at the top of the box. Crawford puts this out of play.
Second chance opportunities, keeping possession and the ball alive. Yeah, he's not happy with that because that fell perfectly for the captain, Crawford, the holding midfielder. Just couldn't connect and get his body over the ball. Sails wide, but sniffing out that second ball is so important on that long throw, which Crawford did.
This ball played ahead. Dixon looks infield, clips this in, and it's caught by Kuzminski, trying to pick out Dikwa.
Great sequence. It started actually with Dikwa, you know, switching the point of attack and finding Dixon, and then the late hard runs being made by Dixon and by Dikwa and Cicerone. Just couldn't connect, and again, Kuzminski so good in reading those, you know, passing lanes, let's speak that way, or crossing lanes, by getting there first.
We talked off the open about the amount of goal scorers that Pittsburgh has this year, 8. And of course, led by Cicerone with 5 goals. As Griffin places ahead, Rovira tried to put his right foot through it, but it was knocked away. And the referee says that was all clean. It's out for a throw-in.
Yeah, for Bob Lilly, you can see right now, we have to start well. We have to be aggressive, which they are right now, sending more numbers forward. Bob Lilly not happy with the decision by the referee, and I agree with Bob that that should have been a foul.
Cicerone for Griffin. Top of the box again, Wharton now out for Dixon. Centrally for Cicerone, it's saved by Kuzminski. A strong right hand keeps it 1-0. Rovira puts it back in. Non-stop pressure here from Pittsburgh to start this second half. Forbes. Now Pittsburgh will slow things down, but still in possession. Bernardo Forbes again. Kilwine. Griffin, back heel flick. Forbes, good build up here. Can they pay it off? It's knocked out of play. And this will be another corner kick.
The ability of Cicerone finally getting into the 18-yard box. Ball out wide, ball gets played through as well. And there comes Cicerone, just peeling off his defender. What a good save, you're right, Josh, by that strong arm of Kuzminski.
Here comes the corner, it's headed away. But Pittsburgh will be able to keep it once more. Rovira drives this in. Williams, Kilwine. Pittsburgh just playing keep away at the moment. Dixon got a foot in there. Dixon puts this over the bar. And now Charleston will be able to take a breath.
Yeah, we just talked about how can you translate 65% possession into possession with a purpose. And I'm telling you, this Pittsburgh team and Bob Lilly in that second half, much better. We talked about speed of play and ball circulation is going so much faster. More numbers in the box, more penetration and forward play.
The first 5 minutes of this second half have gone the Riverhounds' way, but still looking for that equalizer. Remember, when they have conceded first this year, they have yet to get a result, 0-4. They do have a strong road record. We'll see if they can keep that going here today.
Yeah, it's certainly a change of mindset for Bob Lilly's team. Way more aggressive in the way they probe and went after the battery early on. Good thing for the battery is that they didn't concede and they're able to make their adjustments now to see if they can, again, start pressing higher up the pitch so they don't allow this team to get into the final third.
Challenge coming from behind. It was Daly who got that clean, according to the referee. And now Pittsburgh trying to play out from the back here. Once they got that first pass, it sprung the attack. Cicerone over the top. He'll be able to beat the defender to it. Trying to split that double team now. And Cicerone muscled off the ball by McHugh.
Good 1v1 defending by McHugh against one of the better forwards in the league as well. Used his body well, stayed with it, and then just fought in that 1v1 battle.
Looked like it was the off arm there of Daly. May have caught Robinson, who is now on the ground.
Get your fun on with go-karts
parks, bumper cars, 36 holes of mini golf, and more. It's a perfect place for your next birthday party or event. Charleston Fun Park, where fun happens.
Substitutes getting ready. You can see number 15, Anthony Velarde, who did score over the weekend against Charlotte, the 1-0 win. Right now, Jalen Robinson still on the ground. Here's a look at Velarde. Robinson, a central defender.
Important again, you know, take the precaution, come on the field. Anytime there's a head potential injury, prevention first, making sure he's good to go back on the field, go through your protocols.
Remember, concussion substitutions are available this year in the USL Championship. 2 allowed to either team. And Robinson able to come back on.
Yeah, that's huge. An anchor man of those 3 in the back. So it's all about communication, steering these other 2 guys and making the right decisions.
It's played through. Kuzminski will collect this. Lily's been very vocal all day long in his technical area. Robinson pressured, he goes down. This will be a free kick to Pittsburgh. The brand new 2021 home and away kits are now available. Get the same look as the guys on the field. Pick out your jersey today by visiting shop.charlestonbattery.com. Falls for Crawford. We've talked about it already today, but gaining some more time on the ball just to give yourself a break so you're not chasing. And Charleston has had trouble with that here in the opening 10 minutes. It's been all Pittsburgh. Griffin feeling some pressure from behind from Burke Failing. Referee says advantage being played. Kuzminski coming out of his box. It's cleared away, and now the referee will hold play for just a moment, have a quick conversation with Failing in the middle.
And there's a few occasions where maybe he could have actually, I think he's managed the game well, by the way, but the jersey pool in the first half, yes, you give advantage, but that's a yellow card in anybody's book. But so far, I think he's allowed this game to flow.
Failing getting tangled up there. DeRosa can keep it in. Forbes. Now Kilwine. Cicerone gets this wide. Rovira, step over. Turns Harmon around, and that did go out of play. It's a goal kick.
Be the hero of your home with Singo. Singo makes it easy by offering the services you
Bob
need
Lilly trying to find the right tactics here for this final half hour.
Catch the potential problems before you buy or keep the pests and prowlers out. Avoid the hassle and be certain with Singo handling your home.
It was interesting talking with Mike Anhauser this week, and this is the first of the 4 matchups this year between these two teams in this Atlantic division. He said it's so important to, one, win your home games. That goes for any year, but in a year like this, to win each series, kind of thinking it as in baseball. You get a 4-game series, you can win each series, you're gonna come out with a pretty good record there in the end, and this is the first game of the series against Pittsburgh, so kind of taking the macro view and making it a little bit more micro. As this is headed forward, Cicerone was offside.
Yeah, simple math will tell you that indeed that puts you in a good position. You know, in general, in the old days when you played each team twice, there you can see that great flick on. By the way, what about the leaps? And what a good step, by the way, by Hogan. And that is offsides. That's a quick decision again of the guy in the middle that knows where his teammates are, stepping just before the flick on and forcing Dikwa in a offsides position. The old days was, you know, get a draw here, there on the road, win your home games, and you're in the top half of the table, you know? Yes. But now when you play teams multiple times, win the series, yeah.
Plays down the left, Rovira gonna get the cross in.
Yeah, Bob Lilly and the Hounds have really stepped it up at the start of the second half, and you got to figure that both teams probably have to make some changes. Crawford down. That would be a big loss of their captain. But you also got to figure that Bob Lilly might want to bring in some more reinforcements going forward, because he's still down 1-0. So the onus normally is on the team that has to get back in the game. And the 60th minute is normally when you start looking at your first 1 or 2 substitutions.
You hope for Charleston he can continue, but Crawford taking the captain's armband off. He battled injury through the preseason, just was getting back up to speed when the regular season started. He's been a huge part of this midfield for Charleston, and we showed you the injury report before the game, and it was unfortunately for the Battery a lengthy one. It looks like they might have to add another name to that if Crawford can't continue.
That's tough for so many. There's a reason why he's captain, obviously, Josh. He's a great leader, he's a great communicator, and he's an unbelievable competitor.
Looks like a couple of substitutions readying. Looks like Joel Bunting along with Romario Piggott. Piggott in his now 3rd season with the club. Joel Bunting, one of the local lads. 23-year-old right out of Charleston. And these substitutions brought to you by Home Team Barbecue. And Acute Daly will also be replaced. And a couple of chances there on the counterattack, but now Piggott will slide in. So Crawford and Daly out, Bunting and Piggott on.
Yeah, and those are like for likes. Piggott is a sitting midfielder as well, tough and hard. Bunting gives you some juice up front. I thought Daly on the day with his assists, although he didn't get it, was one of the better players going forward. So that's an interesting one as well.
Here's Griffin. It's this cross in, it was blocked down. Another chance coming. Wharton commits the foul. Free kick, Charleston.
Substitution for the Charleston Battery in the 63rd minute. Now out number 6, Robbie Crawford, and in number 8.
These teams, they first met all the way back on July 30th of 1999.
Right. That's when I won my MLS Cup as the head coach at DC United.
There you go.
1999. That seems long ago, which it is.
These two teams did not face off last year. The last meeting was on September 14th of 2019, a 1-0 win for the Riverhounds up in Pittsburgh. And now a sub coming. Luis Perez. Luis Perez will come on. Shane Wheat will also come on. The first two subs of the match. Those subs brought to you by Home Team Barbecue. Vera and Kilwine, the ones to be replaced.
Substitution for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Now in number 16, Shane White. And out number 23.
Here comes the free kick. It's headed on, but the flag is up for offside. Looked to be an offside trap there from Pittsburgh. They got it just right.
Yeah, they certainly did. I mean, that's called holding the line. And then through communication, just a few steps as a unit, well executed.
It's got to be one of those nervous moments as a coach. You're like, oh, I hope we got that right.
Yes, yes. But it also feels very good because that's something you work on. That comes from the training ground. And there's only very few select moments during a game that it's on, and you allow your players, your leaders, to make that determination during the course of the game.
This ball lofted over the top. Repetto just trying to chip the goalkeeper, but this one was blocked down and headed out. Throw-in coming for the Battery. Long throw in coming. Caught by Vitiello in the middle.
Yeah, I felt a lot of stationary people. That's when you want to get somebody near post, just in front of the goalkeeper for that flick on. It's a great throw. It's a great weapon, by the way. It almost becomes a corner, but poor execution of the players in the box.
Griffin flying forward. Dequa, Perez. Looked like that took a deflection off of Perez on the way out, but it will be a throw-in for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Perez, a very cultivated lefty. That's why he'll drift out wide, get some crosses in, and maybe some shots from distance.
Dixon, Perez, still going, setting this back post, the header back across, and it's out of play. Good build-up down this left side. Perez has been good since coming on.
Brilliant. I mean, he's got that ball in his left foot, so you overcommit, and you want to think you're going to block that. He cuts inside, and then he goes back to his left foot and finds the trailer at the far post, who's got a wide open look. Just wide. And if you're Bob Lilly, you say, you know what? That's what I would like to see. My reserve substitutes making a difference.
Once again, out in transition. Here comes Charleston. Pickett trying to cut in field. Harmon hits his own player, and Repetto was in an offside position. I don't think that shot was going on frame. Still doesn't feel any better.
You're right, Kelly hit that a ton, by the way.
Another substitution coming. That's the end of the day for DZ Harmon. Temi Adisodan will come on. And sub is presented by Home Team Barbecue.
Yeah, both teams going to their benches. One of the great luxuries, and correctly so. 5 subs right now. That's a luxury for a coach. Trailing team is going to gamble a little bit, throwing numbers forward, more attacking players. And if you're the Charleston Battery, you're looking for maybe an extra holding midfielder.
It's Griffin. He circles there in the middle. Williams lets this run through. Perez. Williams keeps this in. Adisodan goes down. And this will be a free kick. For the W, the USL recently announced the formation of the USLW League, providing increased equity and opportunity for women looking to pursue careers in soccer both on and off the pitch. Comprised of clubs from across the championship, League One, League Two, and new expansion markets, the W League is set to begin play in 2022 in more than 30 communities across the U.S. Head over to USLWleague.com to learn more. Cicerone leading the break now for Pittsburgh as they still look for that equalizer, trying to curl this in. Maybe even trying to catch the goalkeeper out, but putting it out.
I love Cicerone. He always dribbles with his head up. I don't know if he was thinking about chipping the goalkeeper. It looked that way as well. So you look for passing angles, you look for crosses, or you look for a cheeky goal over the goalkeeper. Look at that, upper body is up, head is up, and then he goes with the left foot.
Providers for the Charleston Battery. You can follow them on Twitter @MUSC.
Kuzmiski just read that all the way.
Download the Charleston Battery app or go to Twitter to cast your vote for the Heineken Man of the Match. It looks like Logan Gadula is preparing to come on.
Yeah, you get somebody on the field down right now that is being attended to.
Looks like that's Jabel Perez, the goal scorer. Looks like this will also be the second half hydration break, which is brought to you by Recover 180. It was interesting talking with Bob Lilly, and I asked him, do you think your team is better for going through this tough stretch of fixture congestion? And he said, in a way, yes, because we've been able to build that depth. We've had to rotate. We've been forced to do so. So Louis Perez coming off the bench and providing a good service in, it shouldn't come as too much of a surprise.
No, it doesn't. And right now, being down with 20 minutes left, depth is going to play a role. Quality depth is going to play a role. So Bob Lilly is in a much better position than Mike Enhauser, who's played 4 less games and has not been able to really gel even his starting 11, let alone his subs, and is hit with injuries as well. So you like to think that the last 20 minutes, Bob Lilly's team, with the changes, will not lose much and will add something. One of the greatest teachers of the game, Bob Lilly.
There is Logan Gadula. He will replace Jabel Perez. Another home team barbecue substitution.
That's interesting because Gadula is really a defender slash midfielder, taking off a very attacking Perez, obviously. It'd be interesting to see if Enhauser is going to move some pieces around within his team to keep his balance. That's the only problem, Josh, at times when you make a lot of substitutions, you might lose some balance or chemistry. So that's the key right now for both teams.
Gadula has been a big part of this team this year. He started in every game, but he was battling a knock coming into this. That's why he did not make the start. Now forced into action here. Final 20 minutes. The goal scorer Perez is forced off, and that's also the last substitution afforded to Mike Anhauser in the 3 windows, as Pittsburgh is awarded a corner kick. It's Canardo Forbes. The wind really blowing. You can see the flags behind the goal. Here it comes. Good service in. Punched away by Kuzminski. Still a chance here. Kelly wouldn't let it go through any farther.
The Battery not breaking. They're bending a little bit on those set pieces, but are able to find a way just to quell the attack and not giving anything for Pittsburgh to really look at in that 18-yard box.
Perez plays this infield. Cicerone picks his head up again. Forbes. Perez again. He's been busy down this left side as Gadula looks to clear this away.
Again, good sustained pressure there and moving the ball with more urgency. It's just a matter right now of getting the ball in the box and getting the key guys, Cicerone in particular, involved.
Here's Forbes, a sliding challenge will put this out of play. Another throw-in coming here.
Looks like it's coming home for Charleston.
Might just be here today, huh?
Stay connected with the USL community and create your own fan experience with the USL app. Stay up to date on all the latest scores, news, and highlights from around
Here's
the
Dixon.
Download the USL app now on Apple and Google Play stores.
Collision just outside of the box. Pittsburgh wanted the foul. Referee says no. Williams goes to ground, and he will be given a yellow card.
Yeah, there's been some 50-50s that haven't gone really for Pittsburgh's way in terms of calls around the box. And Williams steps in and just hammers the big man who's been brilliant, Repetto, by saying, you know what, I'm taking this hit, Williams.
76th minute, issued to number 17, Mikael Williams.
Second time Williams have come in hard from behind, so the referee's saying, you know what, I told you the first time, if it happens again, I'm pulling the yellow card out. Right decision.
Still some goal scorers on the bench for Pittsburgh. And Bob Lilly wants to dip into his bench once more. It looks like one of them could be set to come on here in just a moment, or both of them, Anthony Velarde and Tommy Williamson.
Now for Charleston, take the sting out of this game. Maintaining possession is so important right now. Let them chase it a little bit. Get your lines up further away from goal. Keep your organization. I call that re or rest organization. When it turns over, we still have good numbers behind the ball. look for that second goal, but don't concede. And that's some pretty good football right now.
Failing, playing this ahead, a heavy first touch will end the threat. Adi Sodan was crashing in.
Yeah, a simple up, back, and through.
Just how they draw it up, right?
Yeah, exactly, correct. That was a tough.
Yeah, that's failing.
50-50. Yeah, failing. He doesn't take any prisoners either, and knows at this juncture of the game that every battle becomes important in order to win the war. So he's willing to take a yellow card to take the sting out of the opponent.
Issued to Charleston battery number 16, Burke failing.
It's almost like the way Bob Lilly won his last game, scoring early, 1-0, and then defending well late. So Mike Enhauser's taken, so far, a page out of Bob Lilly's book. Because that's what it's going to take right now, grinding out this result.
Williams will get it right back. Put it centrally, but it was deflected on the way in. If you're just joining us, that one goal coming in the 9th minute from Jabel Perez. Their response here for Pittsburgh, kick save, offside on Dikwa.
Great central combination play, 1 and 2 touches, but again, give that back three of Hogan and McHugh a credit. Holding their line, stepping, which is very risky, but at the end, it pays for them again.
And 2 subs readying for Pittsburgh. It is those 2 subs we thought we would see. Velarde and Williamson. Bob Lilly really going to push his chips to the center at this point. You got to go for it. Down 1-0 with 10 minutes to go. It's deflected out. It'll be a throw-in for Charleston on the far side. They'll take their time.
You get in the stage now of the game with 10 minutes left that every second counts. So you walk for a throw-in. You don't sprint anymore. You take your time on the substitution as well, as we can see right now.
Jalen Robinson will be one to come off. And the other you can see him walking off there behind the goal. It'll be Todd Wharton. Hometown barbecue substitutions. So Velarde, who has scored twice, assisted once this year, comes on. And the San Jose Earthquakes loanee, Tommy Williamson. A goal and an assist for him this year as well. They'll both add into this attack. And here is Williamson. The 12th pick out of Cal Berkeley in the most recent MLS Super Draft. Dikwa gets this out wide. Cicerone. Now the battery looking to break up field. Job well done by Repetto to win a throw-in. Cicerone gets this out wide. Dixon surveying the scene. It's cleared away. Hogan putting his right foot through it. More sustained pressure here from Pittsburgh.
Bob Lilly just
still going.
Yeah, he wants, I understand what he's saying. He wants more verticality. That means the most advanced player really got to play off the shoulder of the two center backs. And then you got to create width as well so you can stretch this team. Otherwise you become too predictable. So great advice. It's just a matter of, can your team execute it? That's a different story.
Low-driven cross, Velarde. And now Kelly to clear it. Balls for Forbes.
Through this time, I mean, the battery's shown some steel, some real steel, because they've been under duress. And I don't know what again, the possession rate is in the second half, but well done. I look in particular at Kuzminski and Hogan, who've been huge.
Well, just in this second half alone, the possession has been 73-27.
Once again, Spain-Italy numbers in the Euros.
It sure is. Williamson. A little back heel to find the space. Perez. Did this stay in play? Here comes the shot, it's rifled in! Pittsburgh equalize! A rocket from the right foot of Tommy Williamson. The substitute makes an impact, and finally Pittsburgh has its goal.
Yeah, it certainly was, as you said, just absolutely brilliant. Williams keeps it alive, by the way. Founds Perez, continues his run, and then poor clearance. The ball falls perfectly for him. There he goes, and the contention is that the ball was out of bounds. And it was certainly very close, no doubt about it. But Williams says, you know what? Nobody calls the whistle. I'm going to strike this ball with power and pace, far post. No chance for Kuzminski. And two substitutes, Perez and the goal scorer, making a difference for Bob Lilly.
And now it's all to play for in the final 5 minutes. And Pittsburgh trying to do something they have not done all season long, and that is find a result when conceding that first goal. It's taken them about 75 minutes to find their equalizer, but they finally have it. And how can the battery turn it on for the final 4 or so minutes? Vitiello, flag up for offside. You can see the frustration coming from Charleston and Mike Anhauser.
We just praised this team that they were bending but didn't break. And then it's, yeah, with 5 minutes left, you've been in this game for such a long stretch. You've defended so well. You've not given up a lot of great chances either. And then again, fresh legs, substitutes making the difference.
This flipped ahead, Williamson. Back centrally, bicycle kick wide. Why not from Dikwa? Wasn't too far away.
Audacious attempt there by Dikwa. Nice give and go again by Perez and Williams. There's that little ball from Perez to the streaking Williams. And there's the bike. By Dikwa, just wide of the net.
Oh, misplaced back pass. Vitiello comes way off his line, and he slides in just in time. Nervy moments at the back from the goalkeeper on a couple of occasions today.
Yep.
And this game really opening up. Perez. Overlap is there from Forbes. Perez will send this in. Quickly headed away, but Pittsburgh will retrieve it. Griffin, flicked header, cleared away. Now go again. Off the chest of Cicerone. Back to Cicerone, and now Forbes. Perez's cross fizzled in, and it's out for a corner kick. And a player down for Charleston. There's a lot of pace on that one.
Yep. What a difference maker Perez has been. When he first entered, we talked about that cultivated left foot. He keeps that ball alive. That could have been in or out. We're not 100% sure. That falls eventually for Williams to score the goal. And again, involved on the bike with Williams. So the two substitutes really linking up on this left side to create all sorts of problems for the Charleston Battery. And eventually that's where the goal comes from, Josh. Boom, there Perez again. Big ball in. That hits, I'm not sure, is that Hogan down in the collision? I don't know if he collided with the player both, or if the ball actually hit him, because a lot of pace behind the ball that Perez just floated in that way.
That's McHugh who's getting back to his feet. The Houston Dynamo loanee. It's Perez looking to send this in.
I'm a little surprised actually that he has to come off.
And now he's coming off.
Yeah, but I thought with head injuries, you could stay on.
I think only if there's a card involved, that's when you can stay on. Once the trainer comes on, as this is whipped in. Griffin. Appeal for offside, you could hear it. Forbes, high boot, and a yellow card.
The fourth official has indicated.
Yeah, Forbes is pleading. It was a 50-50. We both made contact.
Stoppage time is sponsored by MUSC Health Sports Medicine. Follow them on Twitter at
There's some really hard battles right now going on. Look at that one there, contested in the air. There comes Forbes. He's trying to play the ball, gets a piece.
That was Piggott who went down.
Off Piggott, exactly, that came in. And I think that's the correct call at the end of the day, after a fairly clean game throughout.
And a yellow card, it looks like issued to the goalkeeper, who's Minsky as well. Get to that in a minute, because Extra Time is brought to you by MUSC Health Sports Medicine. 6 minutes. And already a minute into it, haven't played anything, so we'll see how much longer this goes. All of a sudden, the yellow cards are flying. Attacks have been few and far between in this second half for Charleston.
Yeah, Charleston lost their way, and we talked about that. Where's the quality depth of what bench? And clearly favored Bob Lilly's team. And the difference showed in the second half, and I think this is a just result.
Pittsburgh has been on the front foot. They're in possession again. So another twist to the tail. Velarde. Perez. Trying to go through the legs of Kelly. Thought he was grabbed. Now this one thumped clear, only as far as Griffin. Wheat. Now Dixon, running it out of Sodan. Clips this in. Perez puts this back centrally. And a chance just to relieve some pressure back down the other way. Looking at the standings, this would keep Pittsburgh in second spot. It would keep Charleston in sixth spot. Pittsburgh with 5 more games played than third place Hartford. A 5-point difference there as well. It's like a handball. This will go against Charleston. Joel Bunting committing the infraction. Free kick to Pittsburgh. And it looks like a yellow card is going to be issued to somebody on the Charleston bench.
It appears to be Mike Enhauser that has been very verbal as of late since that contentious cross that he feels might have been over the end line that led to the goal. He's very heated right now and passionate, which Mike has been his whole career. Just like Bob Lilly, they want to win games.
They battled injuries, they battled postponements. They've been through it all this season. They still have a lot of season left as they try to climb the Atlantic Division standings. About a minute to go. We might get a little bit more than that minimum of 6. Forbes. Good quick ball movement. Velarde tries to slip this through. Williamson. Velarde. Thought he got tripped. Now it's Kelly. This was deflected out. Throw into Charleston. They try to go quick. The referee will say it was too advanced. And a few people in the stands, friends and family, making their voices heard.
I mean, I would have done the same, and some referees let you get away, but the ball clearly was 10 yards back, which they take it correctly now.
Through the minimum of 6. That is all from Patriots Point. A contentious end to this one, but the points are shared on the day. A point apiece, a goal apiece. Charleston and Pittsburgh end in the draw. Williamson there with the equalizer coming off the bench.
That's the final whistle. Final score, Charleston Battery 1, Pittsburgh Riverhounds 1.
And there is our man of the match, presented by Heineken. It's Joe Kuzminski. He came up with a number of big saves to keep his team in this. In the end, they come out with a point.
Yeah, and the just result, obviously. I think that both coaches wanted more out of this game. Possession favored, eventually chances and shots into Bob Lilly's Hounds team as well. And I think that Mike Enhauser says, you know what, guys, we got to find a way to get 3 points, a win out of this game. It may be an ugly way, but I think for both you and I, Josh, this is a just result.
So we'll come back and wrap things up here from Patriots Point, but 90 minutes complete. It finishes Charleston 1, Pittsburgh 1. Stay with us. I'll be right back.
Takes the championship 34 years after his father.
Child arrived just the other day, came to the world in the usual.
I'm driving.
Zero alcohol.
This is your vacation, your beach, your fields of green, skies of blue, mountains of majesty. You're an athlete, you're obsessed, you're in love, you're in pain, spirit drained, in agony, fighting gravity, because you made a commitment to yourself and others to work on your game, build your frame in blazing heat, exhausted and beat. You're not alone. You're supported, pushed, tested, tried, true, broken, fixed, and put back on track to do it all again. Your road is long. On open highway, completely secluded, jammed with traffic, horns blaring, sirens screaming, speed limit, near misses, head-on collisions, body shops, rest stops, so many tolls to pay. Your destination isn't a place, it's a record, a dance, a feeling. Hands in the air, stands on their feet, joy all around. Because when you refuse to yield, your spirit is revealed. You are an athlete. MUSC Health, Sports Medicine.
Back to wrap things up from Patriots Point in Charleston. The points are shared on the day. Same amount of points given out as the same amount of goals that were given out today. So let's go back and look at the 90 minutes with our full-time highlights. Might be a draw that feels like a loss on those faces of the Charleston players, but let's look back on this starting in the 9th minute. And this would be the only goal of the day for Charleston, but out in transition, they were pretty dangerous.
Yeah, they certainly are. Daly dropping into midfield, springing Perez on that left side, who just gets the better of his defender. Goalkeeper comes off his line, wins that 50-50. Easy tap in, 1-0 early on.
Jabel Perez able to score his first goal for the Charleston Battery. And he was able to give the Battery the lead on this Wednesday afternoon. Then on the other side of halftime, this would be when the chances would really start coming for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, just brilliant combination play. Pittsburgh really being able to penetrate that final third. There's that brilliant give and go, the through ball out wide. The cross eventually gets there. The peeling off of their captain, number 10, but even a better save by Kutminski.
Here's our man of the match. He came up with some big saves on the day. Then 85th minute, finally the deadlock would be broken.
Yeah, it's 2 substitutions involved. Perez and Williams. Williams keeps this alive. Eventually gets it with the back heel to Perez. Perez keeps that in, supposedly. And you know what? Williams says, you know what dropped for me? A nice surprise. The rebound, shoelaces, upper V, 1-1.
A beautiful finish from the Loney Tommy Williamson. A look at the full-time stats. The possession was well in favor of Pittsburgh, but as you said, pretty fair result.
Yeah, overall, you look at the shots, 11-9, 5-3, 1-1. I think it was a fair result based on true chances created for both teams.
So that is all from Patriots Point. We wish health and safety to everybody down in Charleston with the impending storm, but we were able to get the game in, and it does finish 1-1 on the day. A hard-fought battle both ways between these two historic American clubs. That's going to do it for our entire crew. Broadcast partner Thomas Rongan. I'm Josh Eastern saying so long from Charleston. More USL Championship action coming up this evening on ESPN+. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.